driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. This is staying in the trudging together family. I'm not really letting people know. I'm yakking. I'm just yakking. Mr. Yak-a-roni. All right. I get started in about 1 minute. Oh, looks like we already got people joining. I do want to preface this a little bit by saying that the people that work at Detox are fucking great. Okay. It is a very hard job. And the people that have gone out, gotten their bachelor's degrees, done this hard work and are working there, they really do everything that they can. And they have servants' hearts. Okay. And what is going on there is not on them. So I want to preface it with that. It's the places that own the companies. So something like that, I guess they wanted to hear shit talking. You would have waited, you would have gotten to it. There's not going to be any shit talk here. I'm just going to state facts. That's all I got. Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. Yes. Run! Run away! Run away! All right. Well, Daily Trudge. Dion, please say hello. Awesome. Good afternoon. Good to see you, Patricia. Good to see you. Again, I'd like to preface the fact that people that work in detoxes are ass kickers. Okay. All right. Maybe all the intentions aren't the best, but I'm going to tell you, with the way it's set up, it's not really conducive for them. Okay. So, I had bugged a company about the fact that they didn't hire any peer support or recovery coaches, that people in recovery weren't working in detoxes, right? And I was a little wrong on that. They had started doing it. But what I talked to them about was, that you have to have a person that's kind of done the work. Yeah. In other words, first off, if you're going to go into the field, if you're not sponsoring people, not yet. Not yet, man. That's okay. Okay. You need to be at a certain point in your own recovery to start working in the field of detox or in the actual field. Now, you can go and help as many people as you want. Nobody's going to stop you from doing that. Maybe you don't want to work at detox, and I don't blame you, but it'd be good for us to get down there and hold meetings. You can go knock on the detox door and ask them if you can come in and talk to somebody. They most likely will let you. I would recommend calling first, okay, because they do need your help. So I have been talking to a what was he? I don't want to use his name. So Why is Bob messaging me? I don't know Bob. I bet it says, "How are you?" Let's see. Thank you for. I would like to join the group of Sean Cassidy. Oh, this was a guy. He loves Sean Cassidy. I mean, like so much, it's ridiculous. Anyway, most of you don't even know who Sean Cassidy is. So, Partridge Family. He was the young looking. He was the young, good looking guy on the Partridge Family. Anyway, um, so the director of Detox. I developed a relationship with him, and I told them there's a certain way it needs to be done, but what they wouldn't do was stop bugging me about coming and working there. And I kept telling them, it's not conducive for me. I'm going to tell you, I'm a horrible. Well, let's just give it a try. Let's give it a try. And I tell them what I don't want is for the relationship to be ruined. And it did end up getting ruined, man. I was trying to do the right thing, and I didn't want to waste their time. Okay. I mean, it was tough for me. So anyway, aside from the fact of my own feelings, right? The first thing I noticed when I went there was that there was no literature. There was no literature at all. Okay. Well, there was literature, but it was like the only literature left was like, the AIDS pamphlet in Spanish. But no AA, no, and I would say, hey, we need to get some AA literature in here. And my fellow peer support specialists would get kind of upset. And they would say, AA is not the only way. I'm like, I understand that it isn't, but you have nothing. We have nothing. We spent most of our time arguing over whether the client should have Netflix or not. And of course they should fucking have it. Okay. Put on intervention or something. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to fucking detox. And you can't have your smokes, you can't go outside, you don't get any sugar, you can't have a soda. Do you know what it's like detoxing from alcohol when they won't let you have sugar? Fucking hand out some damn candy bars, man. It'll help them. You're not just detoxing from alcohol, you're also detoxing from sugar. And sugar can actually relieve a little bit of it can make those symptoms a little bit more bearable. Yeah. I've never watched the show, but I have a guest. I have actually one of my very first interviews was Angelina Johnson, who runs Chain Breakers. She was on my podcast. How much people back in detox after relapse? All the time. You would see the same people, a lot of the same people all the time. But I don't know the answer to that question. How many people go to detox after relapse? It depends. It really depends. Did you go out drinking for one night or did you go out for a couple of years? If you went out for one night, you're probably okay on your own. But if you went back out and relapsed, not a slip, but relapse, then yeah, and it's alcohol, then alcohol is one of the only ones that'll kill you. Yeah. She's on my show. She's wonderful. I love her. She's doing some great things. Chain Breakers has been probably my. They've been posting us for years. It's just and I never talked to her, but it's because we're both doing great things. We don't need to talk. She's cool. I think I got her phone number. I would have to say the most frustrating thing about working at Detox was the lack of resources. In Colorado, there are a few places that do take Medicaid, right? And it's mostly Medicaid people People with better insurance don't go to state-run detoxes. They go to the nicer ones. Okay. And they usually tend to have better resources because of their insurance. Insurance is probably the biggest. Insurance and money is the biggest hurdle. It's the largest hurdle. A lot of them don't. The ones that really, really work don't take Medicaid. Okay. Well, a lot of people in detox are also homeless. Okay. They've been homeless for quite some time. And their only outlet really is sober living. Well, in order to go to sober living, you need to be able to work. And when you have not worked for 10 plus years and you've been living on the streets, you are not going to be a very good employee. Okay? I was living proof of that. I tried to tell them. I missed so much time. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. It was so hard. So anyway, so we'd send them to sober living because they say, oh, well, and they're saying, I'm willing to work. That doesn't mean, and they try, they fail, they come back. So even not all detox centers are medical detox. Correct. Very good point. Very good point. There are some detoxes, they will not give you meds. Okay. Here, they're going to take you to the hospital. And if the hospital gives you meds, they'll bring it back to the detox. But once you leave detox, you cannot take it with you. So that being said, you have to show up with your own detox protocol meds. And they don't have MAP program tied to their program. That helps with the withdrawal also. Yes. And those are very good points. Thank you. Thank you, Patricia. I'm presuming that was Patricia. I'm not sure. I think we got a couple people on here, but it says Facebook user. So, but obviously somebody with some knowledge. You can show up with your own detox protocol meds. Those usually, it was Lord. I had a feeling, but I want to make sure. Thanks, Lori. And that because that's great information. So you can go to the hospital first. Okay. And if you go to the hospital first and you're going to go to detox, then what you're probably going to want to do, because they'll be more likely to work with you, is you can call the detox, say, I'm going to go to this hospital. Okay. So that way, because they ain't going to let you leave the hospital with those meds. They ain't going to trust you with them. So have detox pick you up. That way the exchange is done and you're out of it. So thank you, Lori, for you know what? I never thought of that. And that is prevention. That is so prevention. And I'm going to put that in my own protocol now. I think that's great. I think that's a fantastic idea. And it probably came from Crossroads. Okay. I'm this close to being able to call them, Lori. I'm this close. I want to make sure I'm set up so I'm not wasting their time. That's what I'm doing. Because if I'm going to go there and say, hey, Lori sent me here and I give it to him half-ass, I don't want that kind of reputation for you. So, because we're working together. Okay. And when I'm working with these people, like Lori and I, we're both professionals, right? And even in the professional world, I have her back because, you know, and it's funny because her and I argue all the time, but we always come to the solution. And that's what I love. Anyway, so I got pretty frustrated because, you know, then the sober livings, right? But then it seemed like we had a lot of money to ship people out of town. And that hurt. That hurt me because what I was saying when I did that was, we don't want you. And that was a hard one for me. It was still what was best for the client, because at least in those states they could have gotten help. So my thing was, okay, if I get money for you to be able to get back to Phoenix, I want you going into a program, or I'm not going to do it. And that's kind of how I set it up. So then they would kind of do the research. I'd go get the computer, things like that, right? And then Lori's let me know stuff here that I don't know. Once Medicaid took it over, it put a spin on everything, and then they get to say whether or not you get approved for services. Okay, that helps with the even though that sucks, I really don't like it. But if that, I mean, a lot of times in detox, you got to go with it is what it is. And I've got a big backyard. Don't think I haven't thought about it. Sometimes it's easier doing out of your own backyard and you'll follow through with the detoxing. I've actually thought about, I mean, I have a huge backyard and it's all grass. If you think I'm going to cut that grass for the rest of my fucking life, you are wrong. I thought about putting a couple of buildings out there, just this like small spaces for them and a bathroom, and and then when it's time to eat, we'll come into the house. I don't know how much my wife would appreciate that, but I think of stuff like that. I get excited. I do. I get excited, right? Now, again, the people working at Detox, God bless them. God bless them. They handled it a lot better than I could. I'm going to tell you that now. I don't know how they do it. I really don't. God bless them. Oh, yeah. Got it. I had it backwards. I even got all excited about that. See, the cool thing is I'm not an expert really. I'm not an expert in everything. But what I have is some of the best fucking resources around. Like Lori. Why? You want to know why? And it's a small group of people, because we tell the truth. We have nothing left but the truth. It's all we have left. It's all we can tell. It's all we got. Right? Some of the things that I didn't like about the detox, stigma. A lot of stigma. Oh, you give them that, they're just going to do it. You don't know that. Okay. And it's not intentional. It's not intentional. The detox I worked at was run by one of the larger recovery or mental health corporations in Colorado. But yet we were still doing all of our paperwork by hand. They're not even on computer. They don't have anybody that wants that, take it. They didn't even have like the thing. Even our phone system wasn't hooked up to the rest. Like everybody else, they just dial quick extension, go to wherever in the company. Not us. We got to find the full phone number. That's stigma, my friends. That is pure stigma. In other words, they said, we're going to take our money for resources and we're going to put it over here. And even when they put stuff out, the Comitas Crisis Center, even they're way off. And I know they're all trying though, and we got to give them that. We got to give them that. Lori, what's going to be awesome, and you're gonna love this, is the club where it's at is it's like less than 5 miles away from Adams County Jail and the courthouse. Yeah, you know where I'm going with that. So, pastor who works in in the community a lot. Um, she said, you know what, Dion? Yeah, I would love it if you weren't and worked with the drug courts. So, but I gotta figure there again. It's a job. It's going to be hard for me, so I have to figure out whether that's okay or not. But gosh, God put I didn't pick the spot. God picked the spot. He put it in the perfect place. It's right by the hospitals, by the prisons. It's by everything alcoholic. And that's what we need to be. Because now we'll be on the front lines and yay, yay. Yeah, that's what we want. And I'm making it more of a family club. So if there's AA meetings going on, there's going to be Al-Anon and Alateen meetings going on. We're going to have functions where we do things together as families and as a community. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. She is, isn't she? You know, it's really neat when somebody that because I have a lot of respect for her. I really do. She's done a lot of great stuff. And she told me the other day, she said, Dion, I'm so glad God put you in my life. From a pastor, man, it's still hard for me to take compliments like that. Well, I don't want to single myself out. I don't want to do that. So that's what it was like. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there trying to help us make changes on that. And I love it. I appreciate it. You know, if I was to pick anywhere in Colorado right now that's killing it, I would have to give it to Pueblo. I would have to give it to Southern Colorado. I think they are on the right track. I really do. The stuff that they put out is meaningful. It's actually meaningful. See, when you do things like that, you have a lot of different people that you need to think about. Right? You really do. So it was tough for me working at Detox. Probably tougher than other people, but it can also be extremely fulfilling. It can be. Now, if I would have stayed, because I did work Detox before, and it is so cool walking into an AA meeting, some dude comes up to you, he's like, hey, Dion. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? Who are you? I was in Detox and you did da 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 da. And then you get to experience what Dr. Silkworth gets to experience. I didn't know this man. And it was awesome. It means he changed. Those are the gifts that you get. Yeah, it was a good connection. God's a good guy. All right. So, you know, I've done a lot of ragging on detoxes lately. And so I thought, you know, I put I am stating facts and things like that, but I wanted to put more of a positive spin on it because working at Detox and doing these things could be extremely fulfilling in your life. But you've got to get to a place first where you're good with it. That means completing the work, and it means sponsoring some people first. Okay? There's no rush. You need a year or two of sobriety first anyway. That's one of the requirements a lot of times. What I don't get is they don't drug test. I just find it odd. They always drug tested me before, so it is what it is. See? It is what it is. In that case, is that really a fight I should go fight? No. Thank you, everybody. Not just thank you for listening, but for participating and being a part of what we do. Every time we make a good move like that, it affects thousands of people that we don't even know. Right now, somebody is listening to one of the podcasts. It's always happening now. That's just neat. That's just neat. So, there are other ways that you can get yourself involved too. And if working with others is kind of a vocation that you want, let me know. I'll help you out. Gary did it. Right? Yeah. Now he's working. And Gary's a lot different than he was a few years ago. We change, man. We change. I love you guys. Love you all. I have a new sponsee in about 15 minutes. The first part's always fun. First part's always fun. All right. I will. I probably won't be back today. Fuck that. What the hell am I talking? I don't know. Probably not. And thank you again, everybody, for all the great stuff. This was a really good one. Thank you. I love you all. Peace out and have a day.